They say 10 days is a long time in footy, as the D's, discounted for the Dogs, have the Hawks in their sights with a chance to go 2-1 and really get the season cranking. Welcome to the official, unofficial podcast of the Melbourne Demons, the DeeBrief. I'm your host, Adrian Hawthorn, on this fine Thursday evening. I've got Tom Marquezani with us. Marker, how are you?
I'm well.
You better after last week? We're a little bit glum, weren't we?
Yeah, we needed that.
Yeah.
I think we definitely needed that, especially after the summer that we had. And then it makes me even feel better that Sydney actually looked pretty decent. So
True.
The loss to them doesn't look as bad, especially at the SCG. But we've got a visitor.
Yes, we do. We do have a visitor. We've got Benny with us. Now, Benny, you made a really pertinent point before. We've got Benny Lee and Benjamin Corcoran. A lot of people don't know that that's his actual name, Nuggets. Mm-hmm. Well, he's quit, so we've subbed him out.
He will come back.
He will come back at some point.
For a special guest appearance.
Right. Yeah, but we've subbed you in, and mate, it's awesome to have you in here, first and foremost.
Thank you.
And mate, you're a huge D's fan. And
tragic.
Why a D's fan, firstly?
It's hard to pinpoint. I'd probably say my dad was a D man, or is a D man. His dad, I don't think, followed football, but Dad played maybe under 19s with Robbie Flower, which is real cool. There's a book on the shelf where there's a photo of Dad and Robbie, all puffed up. So I feel like I just looked at that book and it was just magical growing up. So we were just D's from the get-go.
Well, that's interesting. There's a little parallel here. So people are saying that Caleb Windsor's got a bit of tulip about him. Yeah. I know. People have been saying it. Max Gawn even said it himself. And you've come in for your debut and the old man actually played with Robbie Flower. So I'm drawing parallels. It's probably a bit of a long bow marker, but I'm going with it.
Well, we weren't fortunate enough to watch the great man play live, did we?
No.
And by all reports, they should be calling the MCG wing the Robbie Flower wing. But we've got a player.
Yeah.
We've got a player, no doubt. But I've never heard a past player be spoken about by opposition fans in such high regard as Robbie Flower, in terms of, like, obviously skill set, but also person.
Yeah.
But yeah, pretty stoked with Caleb. I know in the off season I was definitely questioning the selection because, as we were told, West Coast offered us a future first, and I was just like, that's got to be a pick 1 or 2.
Yeah.
And yet we picked some fella who was like touted at being pick 20 odd coming in, but he's exactly what we need.
Mm.
He's exactly what we need at the moment. Oh, besides a Jesse Hogan, he's exactly what we need.
Yeah. Well, we might get Glass Boy in this week, of course, Harrison Petty, aptly coined Glass Boy. But Benny.
Yo.
Marker's boy, Jake Bowie or Christian Salem?
Salem's number 1.
Yeah.
Bowie's, he's right up there.
Okay. Well, my boy, Angus Brayshaw, love ya. Anyway, not with us anymore.
Salute.
And very weird not seeing him out there on the weekend. But who are your boys?
I'm probably a Nibbler man, to be honest.
Huge.
Yeah. Just, I love his name.
Yeah.
Like, it's great to yell out, "Come on, Nibbler."
Yeah.
That's heaps of fun.
Yeah.
And I just reckon he's a bit of a barometer. When he goes well, we go well.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I just love that, I just love those kind of bottom 6, bottom 10 players.
Marker, how many times have you bashed Nibbler?
Bash being verbally and be angry at him. Most games.
Yeah. I think I have too, but that's why I love him.
But yeah, that's
because
the love lies in there.
Yeah,
okay.
He's proved me wrong. And
yeah.
Now he's so important.
You're right. If Nibbler's on, we're winning the game.
Oh.
Like, there's never been a game where Nibbler's played and if we're playing really poorly, is he one to really step up? Who cares? He's a barometer.
He actually is a barometer. On the weekend, I think I was harsh on his game in the review shows, and then I actually went back and watched it. And
but that's him, right?
I know,
and that's why you hear so much about how much the coaches laud him, and how much his teammates absolutely, the adoration for him is just through the roof, and what he does, and being out on the ground would just be like just so vastly different, because he does the stuff which is just, it's tough.
Yeah.
it's tough what he does.
He
and I
runs
respect
all
him.
day.
Yeah,
Like his build is just like pretty mid. Like he's just
Yeah.
a dude.
just looks like a guy.
Yeah, but he just like
Looks like a PE teacher,
Yeah.
or just like a
exactly.
I still can't get over the mouth breathing. That's what always gets me.
yeah. Whenever he's lining up for goal, it's like he's just ran 2K straight, sprinted.
Yeah, it's pretty funny. Benny, you're an absolute wizard designer,
Yeah,
and you've got
apparently.
a few.
Yep.
No, you're very good. You got a few tees here that are new to the DeeBrief merch
Yep.
store, so we're gonna rock them. But I want to hear about the inspiration behind them.
Yeah. That's well, I kind of have come from the music industry about 7 or 8 years, just working for record labels and doing record covers and all of that stuff. So I just went
hold
with
one
what
up
I
for you.
know
Yeah,
and ran this Metallico inspired tee,
nice. Look at that.
and we run out to Enter Sandman, which is very fun.
True. Marker likes that. I think Maury likes that more, to be honest.
The
And then
Yeah.
the one Mark is holding is just, that's what we all grew up with, just that classic guy. That's what, you wanted on your bed sheets. And yeah, just very nostalgic for that little guy.
there was the bed sheets where he was coming out of.
Yeah,
them.
yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I still have them.
You've got
this,
a lot.
The Sandman, actually, that's taken from I forget the name of the college football team, but that's taken. There's like some college football team where they play that, and it's mental. Like, have you seen the footage of it?
No, I
it's
haven't.
insane.
Okay.
The like they go nuts. They go nuts.
We don't go nuts. I always feel like the run-outs...
Well, college football's a whole nother.
Yeah, I always feel like the run-out's slightly underwhelming. Sometimes I get really excited for it, but footy's weird. Like, most people are still milling around, having beers.
But the contrast between the Sandman and then it just they run through the banner and then it goes. It's a little bit like
it's a harsh
doesn't.
contrast.
Yeah,
They need to fade it out, right?
Yeah, there's got to be someone on the ones and twos and just slide it in.
Yeah.
But the last one I have is the classic AC DD.
Get a look at this marker.
Give them hell.
So,
huge.
well, we did find out that that actual logo was trademarked. So,
Which one?
well, this one we'll rip it off and we'll show you. So, for all the people watching on YouTube, they'll be able to see it. So,
That one's trademarked.
yeah. So, regrettably, can't use that one.
But we've done a workaround and we've
Yeah.
got another little guy on there which will do the job. But
Yeah.
So
Hell's Bell-
but this one isn't.
No,
no.
I know, huge.
Thank
We're going to
you.
rinse the hell out of
Yeah.
it. So, yeah.
Also,
come-
Hell's
What about the
Bells-
old emblem? The one. Sorry to cut you off.
No.
That
No.
old emblem where it's like
Yep, trademarked the shield
shield
the-
early 90s.
with the type
early
type through it and a bit of a
Yep.
flame. Yeah,
Yeah.
no good.
Okay.
No good. Done.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And
Unfortunately,
then obviously the other demon with the flame M trademarked. Yeah.
yeah.
They've got them all.
I guess
All
from
tied up.
there on in, it's probably like they're all trademarked.
Well, they've kept a couple of weird old ones. It was pretty fun going through the trademark list. There was some weird ones that weren't there, and there was some really strange ones that they've hung on to as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was good fun.
Disappointing we don't get that one up.
Yeah, I feel like Hell's Bells is a bit of a Melbourne track as well. Like, did we used to play that at games? Like, it would go
think so.
ding, it would go
Yeah,
dong,
yeah,
dong,
yeah.
and then the stadium would go all dark.
Yeah.
We do that at one stage.
I don't know.
We did. There's been a gong and there's been a bell.
Yeah, there's been a AC/DC intro before, I reckon. Well, maybe there has.
Can't remember. I feel like that was the dark days.
But they also did
Was it?
Time to Raise Hell.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
time
yeah.
to raise
It's
hell.
time to run.
Which I got around.
Yeah, big time. Benny, absolutely love it. So
Yeah, that's
Cheers,
fantastic
heaps,
work.
Heaps more to come.
yeah,
Hats.
Far
you
better
know.
than our old stuff.
Oh.
Sorry to the person who did the old stuff.
someone in the Philippines.
You gotta,
Yeah.
you gotta. What is it? Crawl before you walk. Yeah.
No, seriously, it's really good work, top-notch work, and yeah, if you want to buy some merch, just probably just head to the Instagram page at the DeeBrief. You'll find the link tree there, and you'll see the merch store link. As I said before, any purchase goes back into supporting the podcast, so we really appreciate it, boys. Before we move on and we chat about last week and then set our sights on the Hawks, just a quick shout out to Steve Simmons or Steve Simons. This is a guy that's been messaging the DeeBrief for a while now, like a few years. He's having a bone marrow transplant. I think it's next week. So he'll be recovering in hospital for 3 months.
Wow.
And he seems like a lovely fella. I've never met him. But I just wanted to give a big mention to Steve, who told me about his surgery and the recovery period as well. And I just hope that the D's can continue on their merry way, keep winning for him, and hopefully the pod, which apparently he loves and enjoys, can give him a little bit of solace during what will be, I could only imagine, Marker, a pretty long 3 months.
Yeah, mate. Well, we're thinking of you, mate. Speedy recovery, and you'll be fighting fit for the finals, and you can come to the G.
Perfect. Love that. Boys, Hawthorn, how do we feel about it? Nervous, confident? It's a strange one for me. I always feel like
It feels a dirty win.
it's just Hawthorn,
It feels a dirty win.
like last season.
Well, I went to the Hawthorn Essendon game, and I think Sam Mitchell might be like one of the better coaches in it.
Oh, yeah.
I think he's going to be, like, he already is a decent coach, and I think they're going to be a serious team in a couple of years. They got some serious, decent young talent, but we're going to win. Like, we can't lose that. Like, it's just, but I think they're going to make it difficult for us,
For sure.
and it could be a frustrating win.
For sure. I'm always nervous playing the Hawks.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
Mm.
Maybe past trauma, but
Oh, there's
yeah,
some trauma there.
Yeah, they crack in, and like they never roll over.
They
I
should have
reckon.
beat the Dons.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, they
bad
just didn't kick
bad
straight.
kicking
Yeah.
just like absolutely cost them. And they got some. I mean, like that Weedle fella, it looks insane.
There's lots of them though. You could run through the whole list. I reckon Connor McDonald's a player.
Yep.
Jai Newcomb is a serious player, like a serious player. And then Josh Ward, Warple. They've brought in Ginnivan, Nick Watson, who they call the Wiz or the Wizard. Don't like that, by the way.
Well,
Yeah.
he barely got a touch on the weekend. But you know, to be in his defence, sometimes it just doesn't really come near you. And like I was watching him closely because I saw like footage of this young kid in under 18s, and he looks insane.
Yeah.
Like you're not that small and get picked at pick 5 and like not be something special, which he is.
True.
Ginnivan was unbelievable
Yeah.
in the first half.
Yeah.
But where we can get him is for one, their inexperience, but their backline's a bit suspect.
What about your theory? Sam Frost is playing for Hawthorn. Does that
Yeah.
mean it's a win?
Oh yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah. So it was James Harms last week. It was funny. Marker was saying because Oscar Baker, we thought he was going to get a game for the Bulldogs.
That was round 1 last year, and I was like, why we're going to win is because we dropped someone isn't good enough for us, and now they're playing him.
It's a good theory.
Yeah. And
But-
Harmsy
But
got
as
caught.
I said, that theory was
It was debunked.
debunked
Yeah, but it
with
wasn't
James
because
Jordan.
no, but oh yeah, true, Jimmy Jordan. But James Harms certainly flew the flag for the D's on the weekend. Caught holding the ball twice.
Yeah,
Headbutt to Stephen May.
he still loves club.
It was grim, wasn't it?
Yeah,
It wasn't great.
yeah. He was trying too hard, I reckon.
They were pretty ordinary.
The Bulldogs.
Yeah,
I'm
man.
not tipping them this weekend.
No, Jones was awesome. Bont's Bont.
Still didn't reckon he had a big game though.
No, but he's still class, you know.
Yeah.
Jamar is
Trelaw,
scary.
He's
Like
man.
seeing
oh
him
my
live,
god,
you're just like, oof.
he could have kicked. He
His
could have kicked
kid,
6
yeah.
or something. Like,
Every time it's near him, it's just
his mark where he
Yeah.
just like got pushed out of the contest. May outbodied him and like positioned himself
Yeah.
better, but somehow his reach went
Yeah.
over him,
yeah,
and he bent as he took the mark. Like he's a freak.
yeah,
Yeah.
He's a freak.
He's special.
I want to talk about Tom McDonald.
Mm.
So T-Mac last week, running in straight lines, playing in defence suits him.
Oh well, he can't play forward.
No.
Like, injuries.
Well, he can, but he just won't
No, he
perform
can
well.
and he has. But in terms of where his body at and the way and manoeuvrability,
Yeah.
I look at Harris Andrews. Like Harris Andrews is top 3 defenders in the game.
Mm.
You could argue he's the best. He's not agile. He's not like he doesn't maneuver himself all too well. He just kind of plots around and moves about, but he's just super intelligent
Yeah.
and just knows where to position himself.
Yeah.
You can do that in the defense. In the forward, you need to be dynamic. Otherwise, you're gone.
Is T-Mac an absolute lock for you, at least for the next few weeks? Because it's Tomo or T-Mac, right?
Yeah. Well, he didn't do anything wrong.
Yeah.
So how could you drop him? He looked like he was in real good shape.
Yeah.
He looked like he knew what he was doing every time he got the ball, which
Yeah.
sometimes when he's at the other end of the ground, it's like he doesn't look like he knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
But no, I loved seeing him out there. It was kind of good. Like those 21 heroes were out there, you know.
Yeah, and Ben Brown with the step.
It was
Oh,
like 20.
man.
It was like 2019
That was
heroes
one
because
of
Marty
those-
Hall was out there too. It was like,
I
what's
know.
going on here? Where's
That-
this like?
That Euro step from
Yeah.
Ben Brown, that was fully this in the
Yeah.
seats for me and Dad. We were just
Oh.
like, I was like, I don't
On
think he's-
Johannesson? as
No,
well?
on Karmas, who
Who's quick as lightning?
Karmas, I reckon, pound for pound, when you talk about the most athletic players on the field, he's probably number one.
Yeah.
Frederick's pretty crazy.
Yeah, but of course, but I'm just saying, like,
At the game.
at the game, and I was standing with you in the second quarter, and you could tell that Ben Brown was about to commit himself to it.
Yeah.
And it was like, oh fuck,
It was a
don't go
poor
there.
kick
I
from
know.
track.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't a good kick. Like he should have hit him.
True.
He shouldn't have made Brown even do what he had to do.
Yeah.
It happened in slow-mo.
Yeah.
It was great.
Yeah. I want to talk about Clary next.
But also T-Mac as well.
Yes.
He's kicking. Like
yeah,
he hit every single target.
he did.
But not just like kind of, to the side,
No,
20
you're
meter.
right.
He was darting them.
Yeah, he darted one out of D50. I think it was third quarter.
Yeah.
And watching the watching the replay back, like it was a fucking tough kick.
Yeah.
Mm.
And he made it. Blake Hauser's really good in that respect as well. Just want to bring him up
Bring him up.
because
Not a fan?
No, am.
Yeah.
Am a fan. But last year, like this is like personal. Like we would in our thread, we would just kind of joke about Blake House.
yeah,
He'd never played a game.
Yeah.
But I had no idea.
he was a whipping boy for no reason
For
whatsoever.
no
Yeah.
reason, just for
Well,
the sake of whipping
always
someone
gotta
who
be.
hadn't played a game yet.
Yeah. Clary. It was so good to see the standing ovation and just to see him playing the way he did, like extracting the ball, running rings around blokes, hitting targets himself as well. The funny thing was he looked a little bit chubby in round one and he didn't, like, I felt like he looked slightly leaner in this round.
It's hot.
Like, is that true? Like, am I clutching at straws? I felt like round zero
Maybe you
looked
got-
slightly chub.
Better attention to detail. It's not something I noticed.
No.
I thought it was pretty consistent. I mean, it was 7 days or whatever it was.
10 days.
Oh, sorry, 10.
It's also been hot.
True.
It has been
It
hot.
was real hot. The
was
week
hot in Sydney.
before.
Yeah.
Hot. Yeah.
Anyway, he looked unbelievable. It was just such a good reminder, like getting himself back into form. Was he the best player on the ground? Probably nearly. The only guy I reckon who could have trumped him was Stephen May.
What a start to the year. I'm
Yeah.
so happy with May at the moment, and we know his importance to our team, but he just looks like he's moving better.
Mm.
I kind of was worried coming into this season. I'm like, he could just so easily fall off the cliff just because of his age, and we've
True.
seen that he's been susceptible to longer term injuries. But he just looks so good.
Yeah, he looked unreal.
Smashed Norton.
Yeah, he did, which was big. I feel like in the first half, the way that we recalibrated the defense early on, it was something ridiculous. Like, I think it was 5 marks were taken inside 50 by the Bulldogs in the first 10 minutes. And then for the rest of the game, they only took another 3 or 4 for 3.5 quarters worth.
Mm.
So that was huge just as a team defense to make sure that they didn't kill us in the air. Because early on, it looked like we were roasted, even though it was very early in the game. But that the way that we tinkered, and I mean, do you give credit to Goody and the coaching staff? Absolutely. Because I think the way that we were able to put pressure on them when the ball was coming inside was incredible. Because they just didn't get clean ball coming in because the mids and the high half forwards were pressing up and doing a really good job. You've got to give credit to Cade Chandler in that respect. And even Jack Billings was tackling and harassing blokes. And I didn't expect to see that from him.
Mm.
Like, I
Why is that?
just Just because I've watched a lot of footy and I saw a lot of him at St Kilda and quintessential outside player.
Mm.
Just didn't know he had mongrel bastard in him. But he was up and down that wing all day and applying mongrel bastard. I thought that was fucking amazing. Like, that was a top game from that bloke. Like, top game.
I guess that's a testament to, obviously, Jack coming into a system where that is, you know, first and foremost, you play for us, you got to do those things.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you're not going to get a game.
No.
And then he's doing that, and then on top of that, he's just clean, and just something that we just have clearly lacked forever.
Yeah, almost forever. What did you make of Billings' game?
Yeah, I kind of loved it. I feel like every time he got the ball, something positive happened.
There's
Someone
confidence there, isn't
Yeah, there
it,
was something like hit up. It wasn't like a hold your breath moment. It was kind of like, great, he's got the pill.
Yeah.
He's going to find someone. He's going to do something, you know, good. So I was just like, I was wrapped with that. I thought I was like on the wing he was playing on. And he's just running up and back all game. Like, he just looked like he fit in. He looked like a completely different player.
Yeah. I don't think he overcomplicated things
Nah,
at all.
super simple. Like,
Yeah.
just found a spot.
So yeah, just
Got the ball.
just measured.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's
just
good.
a cool head.
It begs a question. So we've got Windsor, Langdon, and Billings, who essentially are in those wing, high half forward areas. If Lockie Hunter comes back,
He's not in the best team.
Yeah, I tend to agree.
No way.
No?
No.
So he's going to Casey
He would have to do a lot to get into the team.
at the moment.
And like, out of those three people, I would drop Langdon ahead of Billings. But the other thing is, I know what Langdon does for us structurally, but
True.
he's been, you know, if we look at his year in, what was it, 2021?
Yeah.
Since then, or maybe even 2022, did he have, how was his year in 2022? Still pretty good.
Okay, but it was like most players. Like the first 10 rounds, everyone's waxing lyrical, and then
But I know, like,
fall off
what
a
he
cliff.
does structurally and how he, like, we know how hard he works, and that's super important for how he impacts the game. But beyond that, I haven't seen a hell of a lot from him.
Yeah.
If I'm honest.
So chopping block is interesting. Like, you've got Ed Langdon and Lockie Hunter, who looked like they were nailed on for years together. Suddenly, you've got these other blokes who are having a crack. Also, Taj is another player that could have a crack at that position if he gets himself into the team.
Yeah, we're yet to, like, and we lost the super sub, but we're yet to find, like, who is that super sub for us.
Not Diesel.
And no,
Joel.
But you would hate to kind of like that, as you know, they all want to play a full game. I get that, but sub is such an important position. Like, it's such an important play. It's kind of like, it's like your draw four kind of thing. You know, you save it. Obviously, your best cards are sorry to play for the whole game. I get that, but you know, like in last year's Granny, Ginnivan came on and just like, just leveled head, chill, was smart. He was awesome.
Yeah.
And was kind of like the difference compared to the Brisbane sub who came on, who was, you know, I forget that they had no impact though. They're such an important player. And like, that's why Smith was just like insanely perfect.
I'd say our super sub could be Spargs.
Really?
Yeah.
I just reckon, like, when, like, small forwards, like, such a tricky position, some of them can just be so quiet. And if one of them's not on, it's like, put
Get him off
Charlie
kind of
on
thing.
and,
yeah.
like, you know, he'll tackle and he might bob up. Like, when he's on and he's hungry, he can swing it for us.
Another one
a
who,
good shout.
when he does have the ball in hand, you're confident. You know,
Yeah, yeah.
He's measured.
Yeah.
He doesn't seem like someone who would be, you know, overawed by the situation of coming on as a sub. I feel like some people might be such a difficult thing to come on.
Joel
and
was
play.
perfect as
Yeah.
sub.
Oh, yeah.
Like, he was
Literally the greatest sub
Yeah.
of all time.
I know, we all got so comfortable just... He was the man.
And so did he.
Just sub on and...
Oh, well.
Oh, Joel. Well, yeah, begs the question later in the year, if we were actually fit and firing and we had a full complement to choose from, who is that sub? It's hard because I actually think definitely think Jake Melksham will get back into this
Oh,
team at the end of the
That's
year.
a super
I was
sub.
just thinking.
Yeah, that's a
like,
nice sub.
Yeah?
Yeah, that's a nice.
Is
sub.
that sub or you play him?
Well,
I
if
reckon
he's-
sub.
Yeah, sub's
If
good.
say we've got Petty and Rue,
Yeah.
and if Tom McDonald's in there, I don't think you can have Petty, Rue, and Melksham in that same forward 50, given all the other players that we have in there: Fritsch, Billings, Neil Bullen,
Comes a bit one note.
Pickett.
What? And he's coming back from a knee.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Super sub.
Yeah, no,
That's a good shout.
He's so good.
Yeah,
Love
he's
it.
unreal. Boys, also just wanted to talk about, well, we've spoken about Blake, but I want to talk about Tommy Sparrow. So what's going on with Tommy in the first couple of weeks? What's wrong? Everyone's talking breakout. He's a bull. He's the next Jack Viney. He's this, he's that. Very underwhelming couple of weeks, I would have thought. Like it has been.
But I obviously came onto the scene pretty hot. For me, it's kind of like he's been consistently pretty good.
Yeah.
But yeah, he kind of has that build or that kind of like look about him where he could be starting to like take games apart, like like a Parker or something. You know, he's just
True.
got that build, that bulky. Clearly does work, which is like super important. We go back to talking about what Neil Bullen does for the team in terms of like
Benny's favourite.
competitiveness and
Benny's boy.
But I don't know. Does he have it in him to like to do what the other guys can do? I don't know. I haven't really seen it. But that's not to discredit what he does, which is, the tackling, the grunt, super important. Like, love him for that. But I don't know. A lot of people are quite bullish on him becoming like and going to this other level. I've just never really seen it.
I haven't seen the midfield rotations data, but I feel like he hasn't been given much of a crack in there so far.
He's pretty far down the queue when like
Yeah.
Clayton's in. But no, I have faith. I reckon he's gonna be big.
Do we just give him more of an? The other thing is, it's like, do we say, all right, Track, let's get you forward a bit more.
Yeah.
Tommy, it's time to really step up.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah. I'm all for that.
he's
But and if
also-
that's the reason
He's
why.
also young. Like
So
remember,
young. What
like,
is he,
Track,
23 or
when
24?
His first couple of years, it's like they have these purple patches, and then they just go missing.
When
for
did
like,
Track? That's such a good shout. When
Yeah.
did it actually happen for Track?
It was like there was 1 year where I was just like, okay, here we go.
was-
But for Track though, and once again, I don't want to discredit Sparrow, but I want to credit Track because Track could do things where you were like, oh,
Yeah, he had the
like
X factor, yeah.
obviously he didn't have the engine,
Yeah.
which he just became this workhorse,
Yeah.
right?
So,
But and Sparrow does some mint stuff.
yeah.
But Track was doing stuff, and you were like, oh, okay.
Yeah, so,
I just want to see more of that.
Yeah, real highlight reel stuff.
Yeah.
well, this is the comparison then. So, Track first season's 2016, and then it finally clicks for him in 2020. He goes all Australian that season. That was his 5th year. This is season 6 for Sparrow.
Really?
Yeah.
Jeez.
So,
Time flies.
he's just at that point where it's like,
Yeah.
like, when's
Yeah.
it going to happen?
Fair call.
Yeah, but but also, how many Petrarcas are there? It's not like
Yeah.
we shouldn't be expecting any
sure.
kind of young midfielder to kind of go to some Petrarca level.
Well, I think it's unfair.
What is his ceiling?
Well, it is unfair. So people will go, okay, and I just made the comparison there. We're talking about
And Viney,
Christian Petrarca.
Viney is
yeah.
what like
yeah.
Yeah, no one.
Viney
is-
doesn't
no
get
one's
enough
him.
credit
Yeah, no one
as
is
well.
him.
Like his year, he started amazingly. His year last year was insane.
Yeah. So the comparisons are harsh because of the caliber of player around him.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's just a watch for me. I'm just like, yeah.
It's also like next gen kind of stuff though, right? It's like it's kind of like once your Petrarcas and Vineys, God forbid, hang up the boots. It's like isn't Sparrow next crop? Like
Yeah.
isn't he the one who's just going to be ready made
Yeah.
to just go in there and be a bull?
Yeah, with probably Rivdog, I
Yeah.
would have thought.
Yeah.
Like
No, new Caleb, like it's
Cozzy?
next gen, yeah.
Cozzy. Oh, Caleb. Caleb actually could play inside. I was impressed with what he was doing inside.
I reckon he's got to get a run in there. It's
He's
just different.
Fuck, he's got it, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Like he's got it.
I just saw some little clip, like, I don't know where I saw it, but he had one ball in his hand and then the ball was rolling to him and it was like they were training and he just kind of like goes to pick it up. But in the same motion he goes to pick it up, he then eases it back down onto his foot into torp position and torps it from the boundary line and goes in. And I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, sick.
Yeah. Put him through the middle, like something different.
Yeah, I like him. I spoke to Jordan Lewis yesterday.
How was that?
It was amazing. He loves D's. And
Right.
there was part of me that I was like, okay, he's on a Melbourne podcast. So he's going to be upbeat.
Ham it up a bit, do you think?
Yeah. Didn't get that sense whatsoever.
Felt genuine.
Felt fully genuine, fully authentic.
I mean, the other thing is, Hawthorn kind of, he had an amazing career at Hawthorn. We
Yeah.
all know what he did there. But
Incredible.
in a way, though, like when they went in for that meeting, he thought they were like, do you want captaincy? But,
Yeah.
he got shafted. So I guess he would probably see Melbourne as like the place where it was like, yeah, someone else wanted me and they accepted me.
He had some amazing things to say. Talking about the game that we've spoken about a lot on this show, and it felt like we'd won the flag that day. The round 20 game in 2016.
Oh, you mean Sam Wiedemann's breakout game?
Yeah.
Get a kick.
He kicked three.
Oh, true.
It was amazing talk about that game because I framed it as if he wouldn't have remembered. And he goes, that was literally the catalyst that got me to Melbourne. Like he was so impressed by the D's that day, and we're out to get them. But no, it was amazing. Even just talking about Mitch Hannon's goal as well in the finals, and then saying that when we come up against Hawthorn the week after, I've never ever wanted to win a game more in my whole entire career. And this is a guy that's won 4 flags. I was like, that's fucking awesome. So I came off it being like...
But there's a personal thing, like
obviously I came off it with a newfound appreciation of him, and I actually like really rate him. I think he's a good operator in the media, and I've enjoyed his commentary. I mean, all commentators divide opinion. Like apparently some people don't like Hutto, and I'm like, how can you not like Hutto? Like he's the GOAT for me.
Yeah.
I fucking love Hutto.
Yeah.
But some people don't like him, and then other people like David King, and I'm like, well, I fucking think David King's a flip flopper. Like he's not for me. But yeah, came off it just thinking, well, he simply loves club. He's got 4 kids and 2 go for Melbourne and 2 go for Hawthorn. So that's huge.
That's big.
It was an amazing chat. So if you want to go and listen to the full length, go to the DeeBrief premium feed, sign up and have a listen. So
What's his thoughts? Sorry, on this current crop in terms of this year?
he said top 4.
Yeah.
So he's very bullish that Melbourne still have all the ingredients, which was great to hear. And he just said a lot of experience, a lot of class, a lot of talent. And I guess last week was a reminder that we needed.
Yeah.
Like, that's what we needed. Because I went into the game a little bit, not fearful, never fearful of the Bulldogs, ever. But just, a little bit uneasy because...
Well, it's a new year.
Yeah.
Like, and you can't help but listen to what's been said about your club and the off-season that was had. I have no doubt that this year will kind of like be thereabouts, but doggies are a wild card, and in this competition, if you're off, it doesn't take much to like make you lose.
Yeah.
For like opposition, there's probably only 3 teams whereby you can have a really shit day and probably still get up.
True. And when you slow them down and you don't play that rapid game with them,
I feel like Brisbane. I feel like. Collingwood. Well, they played another pretty good side though, Collingwood. But Brisbane especially.
Yeah.
They probably walked into that game being like, we lost week 1. We'll get it done today. We're playing Freo.
And were you on the Saints tonight? What do you reckon?
In my heart, yeah.
Were you on the Saints, Derek? Can they get it done?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah?
Yeah, I don't think it's gonna click as quickly for Pies as what people think. Like, why wouldn't it have clicked last week?
Yeah.
I could eat
Maybe
my-
because
I
it's
could eat
Sydney
my-
and Sydney look
Yeah,
red
but
hot.
man, like it was at the G. They were unfurling the flag. They
Yeah.
lost the week before. Like, if there was any reason to step up and be proud and to like
Nah.
and to go
They're
hard,
in their heads big time.
Yeah,
I reckon
yeah.
they are just.
yeah, I reckon they're kind of like, we've got it now. It's like, no, but the reason why you were so great
Yeah.
was because you had this fight about you.
Yeah.
You had this like, it doesn't matter what position we're in,
True.
but obviously it's so early on.
So early.
But
Nah.
you can take that attitude onto the field. In no way am I saying, they didn't train, in terms of their preseason or whatever, but they just didn't have that fight or like that, that Collingwood brand where it's like this team just doesn't fucking stop.
True. I think they're in trouble. Like,
I would love that.
If you go 0-3,
yeah. And they go to the Gabba.
Yeah.
really?
that.
Yeah.
Go 0-3. Come on, Saints.
Yeah, 0-3 would be unbelievable.
Imagine
Derek's
a
giving us the
0-4.
nods in the background. He's loving it.
Yeah.
I've tipped Saints. I've tipped him. And they've got, and again, could have egg on my face. Most people
I think
listen to this in the morning.
Darcy Moore's almost like the key. Like,
Yeah, but these are some big factors. So Jack Sinclair's back.
yeah,
Jet.
Zach Jones.
Zach Jones, or whatever.
A bit more than whatever.
Oh, okay. And
Obviously,
then-
no, he's no Sinclair. I get that. Sinclair's
no
a
Nathan.
gun.
Oh,
No, he's no Nath,
And then
but he's a Jones.
Seb Ross 200th, who is a heart and soul player.
Yeah,
That's like Nibbler having a 200.
yeah.
True.
So that's big for them. And then it's Spud's game.
But
But what?
this is my thing with Spud's game.
much
Historically,
emotion.
No. Historically, they just lose on Spud's game,
Well, they lost to us in the first one.
and they've lost. They lost last year.
But also, like, who was St Kilda? Like, you can never work them out. Like, I felt like most of my friends are St Kilda supporters, and
they?
it's just like, just like, who are they?
Yeah,
Like,
you're a Franger
sometimes-
man, aren't you?
Yeah. So St Kilda, just everyone's the same. I don't really know any Melbourne supporters, to be honest.
We know us.
Yeah. No, that's why it's been so.
So you grew
great.
up, did you just grow up with Sainers?
Pretty much Saners, Collingwood,
Yeah.
and now because I've been in the inner north for 15 years,
Yeah.
everyone goes for Carlton.
Carlton.
Yeah.
That's it.
But Saints, it's just like, our Melbourne and St Kilda, there's been a lot of parallels over the years, just
yeah.
like with supporters and heartbreak. But I still just think, like, are they good?
I think they're okay.
I think their system is awesome.
Defensive
And-
system.
You just tell that they're just like in sync with one another.
Yeah.
The personnel thing, it's like they need, funnily enough, a Petrarca or some kind of like what's his name? Who's their skip?
Who is it?
Steele.
Oh, Wilkie.
Steele, gun.
And Wilkie. He is their skip, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, what is it, a co thing?
I don't know. I think he's the actual solo skip. Doesn't matter. Do you know what the problem is?
But they don't have that kind of absolute, genuine,
Yeah.
like A grade, like.
Because they've got Ross, Crouch, and Steele, and they all find the ball, but they can't accelerate out of
Yeah.
the
But
contact.
Crouch has dropped
Filippo
this
or
week,
whatever
I
his name is will be a
Yeah.
freak, but he's 19
And
or
that-
20.
And that other kid, is it Owens?
Yes.
Yeah, he's
Yeah, they're
crazy.
going to be superstars,
Yeah.
but they're young.
Yeah.
I just feel like they're missing that, like, absolute, like a Bont or like a Betrayal. And there's not many of those kind of players,
Just like a
but
game winner.
King could be anything. He could be the next. He's a freak.
How much would you love a Max King?
I know.
Yeah, man.
And the brother, they
Ben.
all signed. They're all
Yeah.
stitched up.
Ugh.
There's no one available.
I know.
Who are we going to...
Jamara signed.
Jamara.
Did Jamara sign today?
He's yeah. Well, there's reports that he's going to sign.
What about?
Mate, the other thing is, as if we would get a Jamara
Yeah.
Why not?
because we're Melbourne.
We've got heaps of cash to spend. end of
Still
year.
though, he would go to a fucking Richmond or like some kind of other big four
Speaking
club.
of
Which is
key
no one
forwards,
comes to us.
How
Yeah.
much does it hurt seeing the big Hulk?
Oh man,
Oh.
I love him
Yeah.
so much. Still, he was
How
my
perfect
guy.
would he be right now.
He'd be unbelievable. He'd be
Yeah.
like the perfect.
He'd be the guy.
I
yeah.
always I mean, I always loved him, but I always said as well. I just reckon he's someone that's just gonna flourish in his like more mature years. That build when he figures out that he's just like a bully,
Yeah.
and he still has that anger. Like he's like someone doesn't kick it up. He's still like, and I just love that about a forward.
Don't forget who we got though. We got Stephen.
Yeah, no, we
Yeah.
got a flag out of it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
For
Essentially,
sure.
and Stephen's playing with a chip on his shoulder.
Yeah. Oh, mate, May is, yeah.
Yeah.
We know what May is.
Yeah.
But you can't help but
Oh, Jesse.
fantasize about what could be.
I think the backs are more important anyway.
Yeah.
Like forwards. Put
Yeah, I mean,
bums
you
on
look
seats,
at Collingwood last
Yeah.
year. Like, who are their forwards?
like when we were under the pump against the Dogs. Like it was so good just seeing Stephen May just like take all those marks, just
Yeah.
lock it down.
Yeah.
It was just like, God bless you that you're just there,
Yep.
just helping us out because the ball was just pouring in.
And 13 of them, I think, in total. 13 marks and something stupid like 26 disposals. You're a fullback.
Yeah.
Did he take 13 marks?
Yeah. 13 marks.
Yeah, it's going to get
He's,
to the point where now it's like they have to, Sydney, they were like, all right, we have to stop Max.
Yeah.
Mm.
Now
Yeah.
it's kind of like, okay, we have to stop May now.
True.
We've kind of got two of those players who they're our two most important players.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Agree.
Definitely. You've got to play tennis soon.
Yeah, I do.
You've got to head off in a
time.
bit, so we'll have a little break. But how many does Cozzy kick on the weekend, Benny?
Hawks. Oof.
5.
Yeah. 5 would be great.
Yeah.
Be sick if Harrison's in and we get to have a look at just the whole, this forward line that we've never seen before.
Yeah.
That's a good point because I just feel like we've just been moving pieces
Yeah.
in that forward
Yeah.
line
Forever.
Yeah.
since 21.
Yeah.
It's just been like, what works?
Yeah.
Oh, you're injured. Okay, let's see what else works. It just
And Melky kind of like was the stopgap. Like he was playing so good. That,
Yeah.
like we didn't notice. We're just like, oh yeah, we got that guy.
future
It
sub.
just like kicks straight.
It still kills when you think about Petty and Melksham end of last year.
yeah.
That's why this year we've got a good story.
Yeah.
We've got a really good story.
We just got to get him back. And I think, Marker, you and I said it before Benny goes and we take a little break. If Harrison leaves, which he will, he's going back home to Adelaide, just get us a flag.
Oh, you're more than welcome to leave. I'll hold the door for you. If you give flag, I will pack your bags for you.
Yeah. I'll be the...
Wanting to live in
Yeah.
Adelaide is
I will
crazy.
drive you to Tullamarine. Yeah. I will drive you to Tullamarine.
Wanting to live in Adelaide is crazy. Apologies to all the Adelaide listeners.
But my God, if
Love
you
that.
get injured again this year and we don't win flag,
Oh,
and
he
you,
will.
and you leave,
Do you feel like with
coming for
Harrison,
you.
like all the fans, like I feel like we're going to be pretty harsh on him. Hey, like
Yeah.
everyone's going to be like he might be a bit of a whipping boy for the first like 4 or 5 weeks because there's a lot of like chips in on Harrison.
well,
Yeah, true.
the bloke that he might be replacing this week would be the stiffest bloke in for round 2 or whatever it's called at the moment.
Yeah, we're gonna know in 5 minutes, so it's gonna be really
If
interesting.
Brown gets dropped, like, phew,
yeah, tough on Benny. He was
But-
great.
In one of the all-time games.
Yeah, Richie had a few on the weekend, and we decided to go down to the race and see the players off with all the other young kids there.
Fully grown men. Just
Yeah, fully grown
hanging
men.
over.
And Richie was like just yelling out, "Ben Brown, Ben Brown," and we got the wave. Benny put the 2 thumbs up, and we got the wave, and he was looking at us, and that's what we came for.
He's a good egg for sure.
Great egg,
Yeah.
great human.
great human, and get back to Casey.
Back out to Cranbourne. Oh, that would hurt.
So we'll say, Benny,
Yep. Thanks for having me.
thank you
Thanks
for coming in.
for coming,
Love
mate.
it.
Mate, love those designs.
Going to leave them with you because unfortunately I don't squeeze into a medium. So
Sure.
I,
Who are we
I
gonna
certainly don't.
Who are we gonna give them to then?
Derek?
Yeah, I reckon Derek's an XXXL. Oh, did I say that?
We'll
Sorry,
find
Derek.
homes to him.
yeah,
we can hang him up
definitely
maybe.
do. All right.
We'll find a
Thanks,
home.
blokes. I'll touch base soon.
No worries.
Go Days. Thanks, Benny.
He's out. We're going to have a little break. We'll come back on the other side. We'll go through the teams, give our predictions, and get the hell out of here. Well, we're back. Good work from Benny. A debut. A very solid debut. Much like Caleb Windsor's, I would have thought. Marker, the teams have come in. It's an interesting one. Harrison Petty is back. Taj Woden has been omitted.
We just spoke about the possibilities. And yeah, Brown played so well last week, but we've never really seen the three of McDonald, Brown, and Petty in the same team. So we were right to speculate that Brown would probably have to make way.
We did in 21.
He hasn't.
We did in 21.
Well, when Petty was, but now the roles have reversed. But, that was in 2021. It's 2024. Two of those blokes are quite old.
True.
So
what are we doing?
We were right to speculate that Brown would have been the one, and albeit a stiff one. Yeah. Anyway, that hasn't been the case. And we were speaking off air, and we believe that there could be like a half-half situation where Brown could be subbed out maybe a bit early on than what a typical sub gets subbed.
Yep.
And Petty could come on and impact the game somehow. But we think Petty's going to be the sub.
I definitely think he is the sub, because if you actually go through the bench, it's this simple for me. Caleb Windsor.
Playing.
Clayton Oliver.
Playing.
Tom McDonald.
Yeah, he's playing in defense because it's defense.
Yeah. And then Marty Hall. I think he has to play after last week.
Yeah.
Has to play. He was really, really good. Rock solid.
Solid.
So we believe Petty will be the sub. I think that's a really nice way to load him back in. Like, get him back into the team. Like, give him a half or give him a quarter and a half to impact. The other really good thing about it is if Petty's the sub, it puts some healthy pressure on Van Rooyen and Brown.
Yeah. And the other thing is, say Van Rooyen and Brown are dominating.
True.
Like, they're playing a game, they're looking fit, they're healthy. But maybe Tom McDonald isn't playing a very decent game, or a Marty Hall isn't playing a decent game. We have a sub there that can,
go back,
can go forward.
Yeah. So even if a backman was to touch wood, get injured early, perfect guy to get back.
Yeah.
There. Particularly if it's a key back. Heaven forbid.
Yeah, that's not going to happen. So don't ever say that.
Yeah, sorry, I can't believe I did that.
Unlucky enough as it is to lose Bowie and Brayshaw.
The other reason why I think they've done it as well is we go and play Port next Saturday. Then we've got to back up 5 days later.
Against Adelaide.
Yeah, in the same town, in Adelaide. And then after that, we need to back up a week later on a Thursday night against Brisbane.
Yeah.
So that super tight, compressed schedule, I think this is the perfect way to bring Petty back into the team.
Yeah.
He's sub.
And you can do that by playing halves.
Yeah.
Why do you have to put on your sub in 5 minutes into the last quarter? Obviously, there's a bit of insurance with that. And like, you just, you shoot yourself in the foot if someone goes down after you've decided to play your sub. But God, you can't just be banking on that someone's going to get injured in the last quarter all the time, can you? Like, I like the idea of kind of utilising it in a different sort of way.
True. And bringing it on early. Well, it's the risk you take.
But the other thing is that will just be for 1 or 2 games, because if Petty's fit, we want him for the whole game.
I think they're setting him up to play him for a full game.
Yeah,
against Port.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is the perfect way to do it. I think it's really clever. It's going to be really interesting to see how it plays out, of course. But, as I said before, healthy pressure on guys like Van Rooyen, particularly Ben Brown. If Ben Brown stars and has another awesome game, let's say he kicks 3 or 4, he's putting himself in the window for Petty to be the sub the week after.
Mm.
And I don't like the idea of dropping Roo. I don't like it. And he was great on the weekend. He got 3.
But Roo...
He has to play every week for me.
Yeah, because Roo offers something that no one else can.
Yeah.
Which is a second ruckman.
True.
He's better in the ruck than anyone else in that team.
Especially Diesel. Sorry, Diesel.
like he's an aggressor.
Yeah.
He has presence. He's good with his body. He competes. He's a good sidekick to Max. The best that we have.
Yeah.
In terms of someone that's obviously decent up forward, because Brown in the ruck, no.
No.
There's no one else.
Tom Fullerton, emergency. Bailey Laurie, emergency. Tajwo Woden, emergency. Tom Fullerton, we'll see him at some point.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll see him at some point.
He'll play games. And that
For
extra...
Casey.
That,
I'm kidding.
That,
I'm kidding.
That extra protection for Gawn as well, later in the season. Like, Gawn, how good was Max on the weekend? But, yeah, got to be really careful with him and the way that we manage him throughout the season. Because you've said it consistently. He's our big wild card. No one else has a Gawn.
No.
Yeah.
And then we saw it on the weekend. It's like there would have been an element of, okay, you got my All-Australian jacket last year.
Yeah.
Tim.
Definitely.
I'm fit this year.
Tim's too nice.
Yeah.
Way too nice.
Yeah. Gun.
Jet.
Absolute gun.
No mongrel bastard, though.
No.
Nah. Which annoys me if I'm a Bulldog supporter.
Yeah.
Because when the going gets tough, I think he shirks it a little bit.
Yep. There's been times where like Beveridge has pulled him aside on the bench, and if he hasn't gone hard enough at a contest in marking, and like we're criticizing a player who's an All-Australian, like he's a gun, but like he could like to be at that kind of like Gawn, alpha just dominant level. Like you need to have a bit of like bravado about you.
Big time. Now you've got to run. I've got to run too. I want to spend some time with my little boy. And, it's Hawthorn. It's Saturday at the G. They're obviously going through a massive transitional phase still. They're an incredibly raw side. We're expected to get the chocolates. I even went on the footy tipping comp that I'm in at work, and 97% of people have tipped the D's this week. It's an absolute, has to be guaranteed win. But I genuinely believe it'll be a little bit tricky, just because we've seen it before with Hawthorn, and we saw it last year in that end of season game which shored up top 4 for us. They are plucky. They can hang in a game for long enough. They just can't finish off. So I'm hoping we see a ruthless Melbourne. We come out, we breathe a little bit of fire, putting it on the agenda. Last week, the way we started against the Bulldogs was fucking annoying. So your hope is internally they're talking about that. They want to get that right. But I don't think it's going to be an easy game.
No.
By any means. But I just think the class prevails in the end. And we probably end up winning it by 4 or 5 goals, in my opinion.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like it will be a bit of an arm wrestle throughout. It could even be one of those really ugly wins where it's like you wish you weren't watching it. But maybe in the last half of the last quarter, we just kind of go bang, bang, bang. And, the experience and the talent that we have just kind of strangles them a bit.
Yeah. What are your bold predictions?
Bold predictions.
Yeah.
I think...
Does Bailey respond? That was his worst game.
He has to. Yeah. Yeah, he has to.
Defensive forward on Sicily for me. Do what he did against Darcy Moore.
You reckon?
Yep, 100%.
Okay.
I reckon he's so clever, and Sicily's an absolute jet. And
he would be upset after his performance last week. He was no good.
Yeah.
He had a stinker.
Yeah.
Which is rare from him.
So give him a role and then make Sicily work the other way. Keep him accountable. I'm really into that matchup. I think Bailey will kick 3 on him and quell him.
Well, you said earlier on, pick it to bag. I like that.
5. Yeah, it's 5. And maybe a hanger. Although he doesn't really take hangers. I feel sorry for him. He took the only hanger he's ever taken. And it was when everyone was watching the Women's World Cup. Like, no one was watching. They were all in the bars just watching the girls.
Fair enough. The Chili's took the world by storm. Yeah. And by world, we mean Australia.
They did. Are you going with 4 or 5 goals with me?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he's going to explode. Him or Fritter. Like, I think one of them has to go nuts. And maybe a Sparrow.
Okay. Who's your bog then?
Best on ground. Wait, who have they got? Mitch Lewis is a pretty good player.
Well, not for them.
No, I'm just
you're
thinking about if
you're
it's
thinking
May
it's
or,
May again. Yeah.
I think he would just continue his form. He just loves it at the moment.
Keeps
Stevie
Lewis
May.
to 1.
I mean, but Reeves, Max will do a number on Reeves, won't he?
Oh my God. I don't even really know Ned.
He's not bad,
Yeah. Don't know him.
but yeah, he's no Max.
John Newcomb, look out for him.
Yeah, he's always going to do his thing for sure.
Quell him. Do what you can. No, I think just be professional, be clinical, get the job done. Thanks, Marker. You've got a week off next week, so enjoy it. And then Adzi will return. And I'm very excited for Adzi coming in, so that'll be great. And you're going to be at the game on the weekend?
I might be away. I haven't decided yet.
Where are you going to be?
Down the beach.
Yeah.
I just like,
Some romance or something. What's going on?
No romance. I mean, for a bit of context, during the long weekend when there was a heat wave, I mean, you know this story, but the listeners don't. This is why I'm not going to be away. I came home to the fire brigade and police, and my anyway, I left my fan on, and that caught fire. Sprinkler system went off. Anyway, my apartment at the moment is inhabitable, and I'm staying with family, and it's the weekend. I might just go. I got some friends who live down the beach. I just don't want to hang out with my family at the moment.
You need to get out.
Yeah.
I think every single person listening can relate to that.
Yeah, well, I mean, I don't know. Can 34-year-olds who have to go back with their parents relate to that? I don't know. If you're in that situation, shout out to you. But fuck, man. Turn off your fan to those people listening. God, that was a very real situation to walk into.
Yeah, turn off your fan. Marker, thank you. You are relieved of your duties.
Thank you.
Just a reminder, Jordan Lewis interview. It's up. Player ratings from last week, they're up. Robbo's rundown. Robbo, what a legend. What a legend. How good was he last week, by the way?
Loves it.
He was awesome. So Robbo's rundown, put the first one out for free. Heaps of content. If you are a premium subscriber, you can access all of that. Mark is going to steal a few T-shirts while he's at it.
These aren't my size. I'm an XL.
No, that's all right. You can give it to a willing Demon supporter. If you want to sign up to premium, $42 annually, $5 a month, all the extra content that I'm doing in 2024. Don't know how I do it, to be honest. It goes straight back into the running of the show. The sign-up link is in our bio on Instagram. Just hit Premium Podcasts, and let's hope that the D's get it done, go 2-1, and go the frickin' Saints, Derek.
Go Saints! Come Saints!
Yeah, that'd be a huge win. Go Saints, go D's.